everybody. Okay, so this is a good start because I just found out that my microphone was not plugged in, so I just did this throughout the timer. So it's always good to have these defining 30 seconds in this regard. So today is the weekend, so we are just going to talk about some efficient action today. That's the topic. That is an article that I found, and I thought, okay, it can prepare you for the week. Because if you think that you need to have the weekend for writing your long to-do lists, no, you don't need that. And this is such a cool article I found, and I thought I have to share it with you before the new week starts. Because if you have a long to-do list and you are not getting the results you want, you might want to take this power of efficient action, because it is less important to do things than to do things in a certain way. So what does this mean? In the following live video, I'm sharing the 5 rules of success, paramount to success, from Bob Proctor. And I am sharing in this March, in this mindset March, the most important principles I learned from him, my mentor, my success mentor, Bob Proctor. And he, told me last June that I should do a live video. If I'm honest about going live, a live video for 30 days in a row. So this is what I'm doing, a little bit with a lag, but okay, finally, here I am. So let us just start right into the presentation, but I'm just sending off a quick message. I prepared this. Hi, if you're watching this, let me know where you're watching this from. Okay, I've just sent out a message. Hey, I see you. Hello, you're there. So let me know where you're watching this from. I'm really interested. I see more and more people are clicking in, and especially now if it's Saturday or Sunday morning. So whatever. So maybe it's fun, and it's might sound a little bit serious, but it's your life, right? It's our life, and so why shouldn't we improve it? So this is what I'm doing right now, what I'm presenting you. This is the presentation. It's so important to do things. So the to-do list basically, but do things in a certain way. That's the idea of the efficient action. And I'm going to go through this article with you. As I found it just so interesting that I just made a little presentation about it. And it's based on Wallace D. Wattles' Science of Getting Rich. And so we know that Bob Proctor hasn't reinvented the wheel. So he just took the basic, most important success literature that was already there, was created at the beginning of the 20th century, and read really hard in it, detailed in it, and sort of got the common principles out. And one principle is, throughout the book of Wallace D. Wattles, he speaks about doing things in a certain way. That's the important thing. Doing things in a certain way works in getting rich or reaching other goals. But while Wattles describes what this is, many people still find it hard to define and therefore struggle to act in a certain way. So if we are busy all the time and still still aren't getting what we want, here are the primary components of efficient action in doing things in a certain way. Let's move on. Let's go. It's the first principle here that is called do your best. I will read. This is your personal best effort, so that in each situation you can more than fill in your present place. By always doing your best, you are acting in a certain way that leads to riches and the fulfillment of your dreams. What do you think of that? So I worked in an agency for more than 8 years in agency life. And there, of course, the defining principle is, just do it. So just do it as quickly as possible. And so you're just paid for 2 hours. That's it. And I think a lot of works are this way. And this is why it's so unfulfilling, because we are just there to getting things done, and really done badly. And so this is something that well, if we think about like our satisfaction and also our satisfaction of our clients, this is maybe something true about it that, well, if we are happy about what we are doing and if we are proud of what we are doing and we really thought about it, well, that we could also then give it to the client and say, okay, so we did this and this. Maybe also the client is willing to pay a little bit more than just, okay, I'm just paying you 1 hour per week. And so therefore, and in this week, so please do a total Google advertising campaign for 3 of our products or something like that, which is kind of impossible to do it well. So think different, do your best. And let me just read a story, what I found really interesting, what was in this article as well. Before he was elected to the president of the United States, Jimmy Carter wrote in his book, wrote a book in which he talked about his graduation as a naval officer. So Jimmy Carter, the former president of the United States, I think in the 1980s, after finishing before Ronald Reagan, before he was elected president of the United States. So he was working as a graduation as a naval officer, basically. And after finishing his training, he applied for a job in the Navy. He was interviewed by Admiral Rickover, who was a man Carter greatly admired. The admiral was demanding and asked him, "Where did you come in your class at the Naval Academy?" With a measure of pride, Carter said, "Sir, I was the 59th in a class of 840. So he was super like top tier or top 5%. So Jimmy Carter said he experienced to be showered with praise, but instead the admiral confronted him with his penetrating question, "Did you do your best?" Carter thought about it for a moment and said, "No, sir, I didn't always do my best." After a long, awkward silence, the admiral said, "Why not?" Jimmy Carter was so impacted by that question from the admiral that he decided that from then on, he would always do his best. He even entitled his book, "Why Not the Best?" And later it became the theme of his presidential campaign. So that's the thing. So without going too deep into politics, but yeah, it's a good thing to do just the best, especially if you're a president. So develop a mindset that you will do your best, and that will ensure that you act in a certain way, like Wattles described. It can make the difference between falling far short from your goals and accomplishing things you never dreamed were possible. So, and I would say, as what I have done or what I have read in the last days, especially, it's also to have your goal and to be, in a frequency of energy that you're happy to do what you're doing. So if you're just doing things, to just do them, it's a thing that is certainly not satisfactory to you, where you feel you're having an impact. And so, this rule, do your best. Okay, so if you run an agency and or if you want to motivate your people, then maybe this is a good idea. So that was the first thing that I thought. So second rule is take actions that are of a positive and increasing nature. Always add value to the people around you, those you are working with, customers you are serving, and anyone else you encounter in life. So when you act in a certain way, you refrain from actions that are negative or seek to take away from others. Instead, you make people feel better by leaving a situation or a conversation better because of the positive energy and value you bring to it. So that's the idea also when Bob Proctor says, leave everybody with a feeling and with an impression of increase. So this is one of the central chapters in Bob Proctor's own program. And that means that wherever you are, just don't think so much what you are getting here, but what others can get out. A fantastic attitude, and sometimes maybe not that easy, but here we have it for the next week. Okay, then number 3, give more in use value than you receive in cash value. Oh, sounds to some probably a little bit, oh, so how should I ever get by? But no one ever experiences great success if they just create a fair deal or what is required. So Charles Kendall Adams, the American historian who lived in the 1800s, said, no one ever attains very eminent success by simply doing what is required of him. At that time of him, today it would be of him or her. It is the amount of excellence of what is over and above what is required that determines the greatness of ultimate distinction. So you've got to go beyond the norm. And like Napoleon Hill said, so Napoleon Hill is like the super great grandfather of success literature. Unless you are prepared to do more than you are being paid for, you will never be paid for more than you are doing. And it's good that I read it, because otherwise I would mix it up as here, non-native. So if you are just doing what you have to do today, it's going to be a mediocre day. Efficient action in acting a certain way is going beyond what is required of you. Just add a little bit of extra each day. So are you in for 2 more rules? They weren't that hard, but now this is something that requires deep thinking. So fix the image of what you want down to the smallest details in your mind. Then you will become enthused just by contemplating your picture, and you will do what is necessary each day to move toward it. Kathleen Norris, the American novelist, said, before you begin a thing, remind yourself that difficulties and delays become quite, or that are quite impossible to foresee ahead. You can only see one thing clearly, and that is your goal. Form a mental vision of that and cling to it, stick through thick and thin. So you could at least sort of read while I was making this a little bit wrong here. But in other words, life is not a straight line. Stuff is going on and to happen if you don't want it or if you don't expect it to happen. There are going to be delays and difficulties that you can't always see coming, but because your mind is on what you want, keep doing all that can be done each day to reach your goal. Yeah, and that's also, again, a connection with the goal that I was covering, like one of the first or second episodes. Like to have this goal and to have this determination of what your goal is, that gives you also, leaves away all the ambiguity and gives you the concentration to do what you want to do. Yeah, so, but here also the connection to the law of vibration and the law of attraction. Basically, if you put yourself in this higher frequency to really go into your desired dream and your desired goal, that raises your frequency. And as we have spoken, or as I have presented, so the law of attraction means you can only achieve or attract something that is in the same frequency. So if you are like this, or if you're like this, yeah, so you're coming from a low frequency, but you want to reach higher, so you have to have a higher frequency to attract this goal. And also a connection with the superpower of, with the mental faculty of the imagination and the memory. So I laid out that first, like, imagination is the faculty that separates us humans from the animals, right? So every animal has kind of can see, can smell, taste, touch. Okay, that's all there. But these faculties are the thing that are given to us, and we can increase them and improve them. And especially imagination. No, other living being here on the planet can imagine their environment and then change it. So if you are imagine your dream and your dream goal and your idea, and then make it with all the details, then repeat it over and over again, so you create a future memory. And this future memory, here I just translated, is the fixed image of what you want down to the smallest ideas that helps you to be persistent over the bad times. So just use some of the keywords of the things that I have presented, like persistence as well. So how are you guys doing? Are you still there, or is it like, ooh, overwhelming? But it's not that bad. And what I really like about this article, and this is why I'm presenting it to you, it's not that kind of do this and then you will receive this article. So that, okay, so if you want to be successful, write a to-do list, and so then you are more successful because you're getting things done. It is about the big goal and what it is including. And that's sometimes the thing that is not so easy for many people to to digest or also to understand, is that there is a lot of visioneering and visualizing and imagination work included, which however pays off in the long term. Because if we are just making a plan, as I just also said, if we can have a plan, but either it will never be started because we are procrastinating, or we are getting afraid of really then when the rubber hits the road to do really the things that are necessary. We get afraid, we are in a state of anxiety because we don't see how should this happen, or are there clients coming or something like that. So therefore, make your work in visualizing. And so I'm getting lost, or I'm getting too much into detail, but the number 5 would be make each day successful. Success, Nightingale said, one day at a time, handled successfully, will carry you over every hurdle, and so it will solve every problem. With small action, with each small action that you perform, recognize that it is part of the bigger picture and do it with a positive and loving energy. Each individual activity you are doing serves your overall purpose and goals. So this is also the idea of, if you have your big goal, then each step is the progressive realization of your worthy ideal. And successful action is cumulative in its results. If you do everything as well as you can today, then do the same the day after that and the day after that. You are working efficiently and effectively. Success comes one day at a time. Don't confuse the two. And so now comes the final. And so I think it's a perfect article to just present here because it's not too big. And how do you like the moving background? It's a new thing. I'm trying something new out every day. So to also learn something, how to do like the best live broadcast ever. So do not confuse efficient action with effective action. So the effective means you're doing the right things, but being efficient means you're doing the right things, the right way. So efficiency thinks long-term, effectiveness focuses on the now. So, and I have this year, and we are spring season, so everybody tries to get in shape, being fit. So a good example is personal fitness. So even if you're not going for the success at work, if you're going for the success body-wise, shaking camera, if this is also an example, so go for efficient action, not the effective action. Personal fitness. Year after year, millions of people make resolutions to get in shape, while many quit after a few days or weeks. Some manage to go to the gym all year long. Even those who stick with working out, at the end of the year, only about half of them achieve the kind of results they wanted. Why? What differentiates the people who see their desired results and the ones who don't? The ones that succeed create an image of themselves being fit. They ask for help, focus on what they're doing while they are working, and strive to vary and improve their workouts. The group that doesn't really believe that they can get fit goes at it alone, mindlessly works out, just and does the same workout every time they go to the gym. Both groups engage in effective actions, working out, but only the group that succeeds is efficient. Efficient actions bring success, and inefficient actions bring failure. When you start a new business, project, relationship, and your heart is now not in the new venture, your actions will be inefficient, and the new venture is guaranteed to fail. Taking time to reflect on your action is paramount to success. From time to time, we all need to evaluate our actions and decide if we are being efficient or effective. Effective actions eventually get things done. Efficient actions get things done faster and better. We're giving it our all. So, just some thought for the next week, okay? So, if you're unhappy that you haven't achieved your to-do list, so ask yourself the question, is it really contributing to your big goal? Is it really something you are, so that is contributing here and that helps you and where your heart is? And in this regard, here again, do your best. What are the things? So do your best, take actions that are more positive and increasing value, give more use value than you receive in cash value, fix the image of what you want, also in the smallest detail, and make each day successful. So this idea of progressive continuation of your worthy ideal, a lot is in that's another perspective about, how to wave the single success principles and also faculties and also the paradigm that we can change in it, because as you are visualizing, you will create a new paradigm. So, and that's also the nice thing. I was talking a lot about paradigms of the past. So your grandparents might have done things in a certain way because it was their reality, or they have just gotten this value that was passed on to them as well. So you can override it and you can do what serves you to achieve your road to freedom, basically. Okay, so some ideas for you today, and looking forward to also seeing you tomorrow. So this will be for another 3 days. Okay, no, 4 days. So tomorrow, so not counted the 27 yet. And then on the 31st, I will do my super final celebration of the Mindset March, where you are invited. Come and join me on the 31st of March at 7 p.m. Central European Time or 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will just wrap up. Also looking forward to maybe have some special guests. I don't know. So who wants to come comes. But there are some of you like you who are watching this all the time. So I would really love to see you there as well, and to celebrate that I did it in this regard as well. So every day alive for 1 month, that's something that, was kind of a challenge for me as well. So, and sometimes, of course, it's the inspired action that is important. Just Yeah, maybe I will do this too. Inspired action. This is also something super important where you're basically going also with your intuition. You have an idea or you had the intuition to do something and then you're really quickly doing it. And most of the time, it was just the right thing to do. And it was so easy. Okay, so that's all for today. If you don't have any questions, I would just like to also point you out that there is a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel means that you can see all the replays that are in for the last 27 or 26 episodes, and also some more stuff because I'm also doing live videos. It's a great possibility to be informed if a new video comes out, if I'm doing a new live, so we'll be informed. One thing is that I'm just trying to do the live whenever I can. Sometimes I can announce it early, but sometimes I'm just doing them as they are playing in time-wise. So therefore, yeah, subscribe to my channel. It would be great. And also wishing you all the very, very best. Thanks for being around and yeah, your interest. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye and have a great start into Sunday.